Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 15th of July 1944. And before we get started, as usual, a big thank you for all your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. Now, also, I want to apologize that this video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. The reason for that is twofold. The first one is that this part will probably consist of a lot of long-range planning and talking. Also, I've got the wonderful seasonal pleasure of going Christmas shopping this afternoon. So I don't have a lot of time to do, well, the recording's great. It's the editing and rendering that takes all the time. So this video will probably be about 45 minutes long rather than the usual hour. But before we get into all the planning, I just want to show you this. You can see we're on the 16th of July now. I'm just going to speed the game up a bit because I want this to see the tractors rolling out. I just want to show what I've got left in my silos. So we've got 127 tons in each of these two silos. And we've also got about 600 tons left in this silo. So I'm quite happy with that, simply because that shows that this farm at the moment is supplying enough resources to produce the fabric, the fuel, and the food for a population of 4,255. So that is pretty good. Yeah, it's also a little bit of warning in the sense that I'm going to need to start thinking a little bit about crop production, and I do have an idea for that. Our town here is oh good, so we've got a new vehicle available. It's probably a personal car. Most of the tanks always show up as personal cars. If anyone's not sure, if we get personal car, I'm sure it's personal car. There we are. So we've got a, not exactly sure which one it is. They're all, there it is there, T3485. So if you want a bus that looks like a tank, feel free to build them. Maybe later on in the series I might do something like that, just for the fun of it, so that some people can drive around the street in their own personal cars. The only trouble is they're not particularly that fast. So generally this area is pretty good. Just to show you the overall stats here, you see the happiness is on average about 79 to 80%. Now at this point in the game I'm quite happy with that, because to get the happiness higher takes a disproportionate amount of effort for a diminishing sense of return. Because if we come into here and look at some of the population, you'll see that these people are working with a productivity of around 70-80% as well. Now, to get the productivity higher, you've got to start giving people personal cars and all sorts of other bits and pieces, and also improve the level of the accommodation. So that's something that I personally feel that's not really worth the effort. Look, average loyalty now, as you can see, has really jumped up. We're now at 52%, and that's the average loyalty. And this comes back to what I was saying, 4 or 5 parts. It's just getting across that 40% threshold, because it's the transition between the effects of the monuments and the effects of the radio here. So we could probably push this up to, maybe we'll push the radio station to 50%. I think we got enough people in here that's getting there. Because of course this is an average, and you probably find that the loyalty is a little bit lower down here, which is dragging it down, which is understandable because life is a little bit rougher down here. So if we show you here, you see the loyalty is not too bad, but the happiness would be lower. See, the happiness down here is 37%. I don't think you're ever going to get massively high happiness here, but that will sort itself over time. So generally what I would say is that Highview up here is now getting into a state of equilibrium. I do feel that I need to push that up as a priority to try and get that built, so that we can get the orphanage built. That's kind of dragging out a little bit. And of course, eventually some of these industries like the power station and the brickworks will shut down, so that what that will mean is that we'll have more workers to do other things. And of course, long term, the biofuel plant will shut down as well. And what will happen is more and more of the crop production will be pushed into food. Just want to check here. We've got the food is maxed out, so I'm quite happy with 74 tons. And on the case of food, if we come down to here, I think if you watch the last part, you'll be aware that I was looking at this little store here, and I think we've got, I put another food store in here. So what I'm going to do now is I want to use that food. I don't want to waste it. So we're going to just put that, knock that out. And then what will happen is we'll transfer the food over to this one. It's got no sellers in it at the moment, but that'd be okay. And then the idea is this corner here we will use for another tower block. And I think generally that is the way things are going. We're still building this sewer line down here. We've got a hospital we're being built, because I think the hospital, which we also moved in the last part somewhere, I think it's squeezed in one of these corners here. Is it? I can't remember where it is. It's in here somewhere anyway. I want to get this to take over as the hospital coverage as well. And then what we're going to be doing then is I'm already working on I think it's this building here. Already starting to work on building this out. And I'm still kind of in two minds on how we're going to do this. My instinct is to get this build out the conveyor to here. See if we can get enough coal coming into here so that we can start using the power station. I think if we could get the power station up and running, it would make quite a big difference. The only problem is going to be is the delivery of the coal. The alternative is that we push out this way. Maybe we got here, we got a coal mine here, we got a store here. We could import the raw iron ore. Now over the other side of the road here, we're currently working on this. Is like we're just about to finish this, so we're going to need to keep an eye on getting this built out to here. What do we need for here? Gravel, concrete and asphalt. That's okay. Now I did get a comment about the size of the town here and the steel mill, and I don't really want to put a steel mill here because we're going to have a lot of iron mines up here. We're going to have a bit of iron ore processing here. But as pointed out in the comment, I'm aware that this is going to be more of an ancillary area, and that's what I want to keep it at. And of course we've got the steel mill planned over in Black Country. I think the steel mill is here. So in the short term, we'll have the steel mill here, which will be producing some steel. And of course that would become more economic as the iron production comes on here. But I don't want to build a steel mill in this area, because if I take you up to the grander plan, what I want, if I show you the iron, if we tag the iron, we've got a big plot of iron here. We've also got iron up there. And what I'm thinking possibly, although it depends on proximity to coal, well, I'm thinking that long term we're going to have some major steel production in this area. I'm not exactly too sure where, because I want to bring the iron in from this area, which is up here, and I want to combine it with the coal, and eventually of course we'll be bringing in coal from other areas as well. Oh, I didn't realize that if you've got this toggled you can still look at other ones. So we're probably going to have steel production somewhere in this area. Possibly we could even build it here on this town, and what this will be is a dedicated steel town with all the rail connections. And if you watch my Seven Crosses series, what we'll probably have here is 2 steel mills being fed by railway lines and the local production. So because we're going to need large quantities of coal and iron. So eventually, and this is what I'm kind of building up to with what we're going to be doing in this part, is we're going to be having the coal, either the coal or the iron, or a mixture of both, will be shipped up from here round the map. And And what that will do is then supply to this area. Now we've also got a little patch of oil here, which I would like to get online as soon. I mean, it's not going to be massive. Just to show you, if we look at fossil fuels, pump jacks, so you can see we're probably only going to get possibly about 4 or 5 oil pump jacks in here. And I mean, but the only good thing about them is they've got pretty high productivity. So we're going to have to try and get the maximum number of pump jacks into this area here. And so what I'm thinking is possibly an oil refinery down here somewhere, so that the oil from this area won't have to be transported very far. And of course, we've got the major source of our oil up in the top corner, but this would be what I'm kind of moving towards is an oil refinery here, where we will have fuel and bitumen produced, and that will actually then supply the fuel for this area of the map. And the other thing also is that at the back here is uranium up through these valleys here. So what we'll probably have is quite a large town in this area, with the industry down this way. And one other possible option is that if we got oil on this side, we might be able to get some steel production for this area, either on this side of the river or that side of the river. And that now takes me to what I want to do in this part. Just going to slow the game down because I don't want the game really running away from me, because I don't I'm just going to take that road out at the moment, and we'll probably get rid of the bridges as well, because they're not really that practical. And we'll probably put the road bridges back in again. We've got the rail line there, and we've got the rail line up here. And what I'd like to do is get, this is quite high up though, this could be interesting. I want to run the rail line. Of course, that's not gonna. Okay, we have to do it in short lengths, which will mean that we're not going to have a straight railway line, but rail lines traditionally follow the terrain, especially the early rail lines, because locomotives weren't that powerful, so they couldn't really do what you can do with modern trains, where they get there. So we're now hooking up to that, and what I want to do is we're going to remove this section, and we're not going to run any rail track through here, so I'm going to get rid of this lot here. That will make us more space up here. I know I could have run the rail line down here and saved a bit of cash, but I wanted the rail line to be more representative going down around this way, so we got the connection there. This leaves this space open for a potential town, and it could be the steel town. So we've got this rail line here, and what I'd like to do is push this up through here, and hopefully this will follow this path here, and then what I'm going to do is just take that to there for the moment. So we've now got a rail line pushing out here. Now what I want to do next is, far away from this junction are we? Quite a fair distance, and we've got quite a point there. Now, this area here gets a little bit more complicated because I don't want to seal off this area here. So what we're going to have to do is go up quite high. So I want a very high railway bridge over here. And then we're going to go down, use the train to that would be good. Okay. Okay. We'll run this there. Get this right alongside you down to there. That should be more than high enough to take shipping. If it doesn't, it's going to be a very expensive mistake. Come that way. Now, what I'm thinking, this is real super long term thinking, is I want to put a rail line through here. Let me extend you a little bit that way. We'll trim this back a little bit. Come here. Bring you through there. Into there. We want about 200 meters gap here. It'll be a little bit tight, but I think if we take off the rail about here, run you through to there, run you through to there. What this does will give options to get the rail line into here, possibly even to run it all the way through to the uranium mines. And what it will do is I think what we'll do is we'll trim this track back a little bit now, like that. Get you there. We'll run this track down like that. We'll run you along the foothills like this. And what we're looking at now is a track that will run down there. Of course, what we're going to need to have here is going to be a little bit more trickier. Have you run into there like that? Of course, what we're going to need to think about is construction. So what we're probably looking at is construction crossover there. You know, with construction crossovers, you can have very short distances, because if you're using construction trains, as long as they fit in these distances here. Now, so the reason for this is the fact that what we're going to need to do is, when we're building out this way, the obviously this bridge is going to take time, and we may want to go that way. So this is where you've got to think a little bit. We've got a construction crossover there. We can push out the track this way. And what we're going to do now is get here. We're just going to, right, I want the, press shift. It's going to upgrade you. Again, press shift, drag. That will automatically do the upgrade. Then we're going to need to connect up this to there. Then hopefully we're going to run all the way through here. A little bit more track here to upgrade. Shift, upgrade. Then we'll hook you to there. Then shift, upgrade. What I'm doing at the moment is just confirming what our main line is going to be running all the way across the map. It's going to be a bit close. Not happy with that. Get rid of you. This is getting a little bit too close together. It's something we need to, I think we'll be okay. That will come all the way through to there. For some reason this track has gone underground. Does it sometimes, but if you do the upgrade it will actually bring it back to the surface. And then obviously there's going to be lots of branch lines and things coming off of here, but I thought I'd just do the main line all the way through to there. I'm not sure that connected. Not happy with that. Pick you out. Got a horrible feeling that didn't connect properly. And then we've got that line running through to there. Okay, shift N. This, that will come through to there, and this is going to run right through the middle of our farming area here. Okay, all the way to there, and that will run all the way to this bridge. We're probably going to need to do a little bit of a correction at the end here, so just trim you back a bit. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Of course, we're going to have to put another really major bridge over here. We're going to have to get a lot of height again. This is going to be quite an important bridge, so it's going to take a lot of the traffic. So put you there. and going to be double bridge down to there. For some reason it won't connect there. Will connect now. So we've now got a bridge here. It should be high enough for shipping. If it isn't, well, we'll just have to rebuild it. Right, what we've actually accidentally done now is we've flipped this round the opposite way, but that's okay. And push you to there, into there, and where the railway is going to go from here, I've got absolutely no idea. So we've effectively now built the railway up, effectively connected the whole system through here. I mean, and so that we've now got to this point here. And what we need to do is go up to here because there's no rail connection from there. But I think we'll plan that later on. And I think just to get all this done, we will accept it. While we're here, we'll just come up to here. See what these guys are doing. I haven't looked at them for a very long time. Right. As expected, we've got a little bit of a problem with the road there, but it's not that big a problem. Just keep pushing these guys out this way. Let's see how far we can send them. See. This rate, we will have a major motorway system out here before anything actually gets before we actually move anyone in. Although it's all going to be gravel roads, but that's going to be no problem. I think we might be... No, these guys are still... Push back over here again. Yep. They will still keep going. The other thing while we're here is we planned a link to a coal mine up here. I think it was a coal mine. It's just here. Yeah, it's a coal mine, and the iron mine is just round this corner. I think while we're here, I just want to put in the iron mine. Where is it? Allergy. I think the iron mine is just there, isn't it? Yeah. We got a single low yield iron mine here. So this is going to be the only iron mine in this area. I'm going to put this in as well to tag off. We got the road that was built to here. Just wondering, can I get this road through? Actually, I think what we might do is we're going to have a town in this direction. So if I get on the grid, run a road that way. Take the road over a little bit further like that. And I doubt seriously we're going to be able to get over that little bit of red patch there, but curve that road round onto the grid there. Put you there. Put you there. We've got a nice flat area here, which could be used for something. In fact, I'm very tempted. It's like an edge of a slope here. So if we push out a road that way, I seriously doubt we'll be able to get a road down from this border post. We've also got to bear in mind that we've got to bring the railway down from here. So we're not going to... So there's no point pushing the road up there, but so we're just going to accept the roads. Now, I'm aware that the road crews probably won't build out this way, but I just want to keep them busy so that they're laying out our main road structure in. So here, what we're probably looking at is a steel mill about here, with the town possibly down here a bit. In fact, let's just a bit more work with the road. Oops, no. We were the road down, say like that. Come down like that, and then we put a main block through here, maybe to there. Get that. So what we're looking at is a major town centre here. Of course, one of the problems we're going to get is actually running the sewage drain line down to there, which is going to be a little bit of a complication. But so the idea is we'll be digging the coal here, probably processing the coal in this area because it's got a nice flat area for coal processing. But we've only got the one coal mine, and then we'll have an iron mine here, so we'll have some steel production here, the main town in this area, and what this will be is a construction steel mill. And what I'm kind of thinking long term, I know, and when I mean long term, I'm talking very long term, provide the steel to lay the railway track, and possibly long term, that's what will be the job of this area here. Basically produce the steel and the other resources, because of course down here we're going to have a gravel pit producing gravel. So this corner here will be the you could say the rail laying capital of the map, and then the steel, the prefabs, the gravel, everything needed to lay tracks will be up here. It doesn't mean the rail construction offices will be here. It would just be this will be producing that, and of course also it will be supplying domestic coal to the area as well. So this is the idea. So the idea is this will give the momentum to get the economy going before we build the big true industrial centres. And I probably think that I've done quite a lot now. I mean, obviously the road needs to be built over to here as well. So that kind of gives the grand strategy for where we're going, what we're going to do, lots of things to build. And I think what we're going to do now is just come back and see. All right, we've now got the school operational. We certainly want, what was the loyalty again? 53. What's the loyalty in this area? Loyalty, please. 40. And we got a few people in here. So I think if we push this to say 45, get a little bit of education going, as this is now finished. So get that out there. Hopefully we will have we got the workers in here, so we can now zap this. And what I'm going to do is remove the footpaths. It's going to cause some disruption, but I'm hoping it will not be too bad. And what I'd like is to take the road out. And that road's built. Got a little bit of footpath there. That needs to be high priority. What we're probably going to have to do is put... Now, of course, this is going to reduce the working distance of these people. What's this? This is the Kino. I'm not convinced this key now is working as well as it should do. So I'm just wondering whether we should get some. I was going to put a building in here, but now I'm thinking maybe no, I think I will put a building in here, but I want something that's going to be quite impressive. And we've now got prefabs, so of course these don't. The game doesn't really provide tower blocks, does it? Oh, 257 people. Would that fit in with? How about that, guys? I mean, it kind of fits with the style, doesn't it? And I really should put in a building. What's the 89%? Yeah, I think how many population? 257. I think I really like that on this corner here, like that. Like that. And what that should do then is allow me to put in a footpath to there. Push that to high priorities to make sure we get the link. I mean, it doesn't look that much higher actually. When I was placing it, I think that will fit quite well with these buildings, isn't it? It's going to be modern because I want this to be a relatively modern city. And this road here will represent the boundary for accommodation. Well, maybe what we can do is move some of these people out long term, and so we got. I mean, well, we don't have that much growth space, do we? Okay, so we're going to need get another one of these built. Then we'll get the pathways into this one, build this. Okay, run faster. We got this one here. We've got the hospitals now equipped. Wow. I don't want that many people in here. About 20 in here. Okay, we need some ambulances. I don't know whether we're in range of ambulances. 70 kilometers now. I'd rather have speed 80s. So I don't think carry capacity makes that much difference, does it? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 there. I don't think the population justifies. I think we're going 15, 15. Yeah, I know this patients want treatment, but so we've got the hospital, we got the school, we've got some more accommodation. Kind of looking at these and wondering whether we need more capability here. How are we doing over here? A little bit worried about the average happiness has dropped a little bit. Got prefabs here. I wonder if I could do with another open hole here. A couple more open holes. Open holes because we want to deliver prefabs. Total capacity. I want something with a bit more speed. I'm going to get a couple more of these ices in here. So that will connect up to that. Question is, can I get more fuel delivery to the hospital? I don't know if I've got any slack yet. Just have a look here. That's good. Got you in there. You say 60%. What's the fuel in here? 40 tons. Yeah, 50% would do for the moment. Right, we've now got the ambulances. We get some fuel in there. That will give us. See, we've got some really good coverage. But we'll still keep the original hospital that's in here somewhere. Look at that. The lightning crew are on it. Right, I think we're going to build this block as well. So, because winter's coming, and what we'll have here is there. So we've got 2% unemployment now. We've got due to small child. Right, let's see where the problem is. Yeah, we're starting to develop the kindergarten problem again. Although we got the kindergarten here. Why is that a problem? I mean, we got the staff in here. How many staff here? We got maximum 14. What's 3 4s of 12? 42. What we're gonna do is we're gonna allocate you to there and to. Whoops, what happened there? Put you to there and there. But what we'll do is have the make this. It's gonna take a little while to adjust, and then any surplus from this block can then go over here. So what we can do is get more and more people into here. That will get more and more kids into the kindergarten. What that should do is then alleviate that problem. This pipeline, for some reason, this guy is not allocated. These are not allocated to the prefab delivery crew. Just stop this line from. Oops. What that should do is get these guys delivering the prefabs. Yeah, a bit of a fail there. I do really need to spend a little bit of time sorting this out. We've now got beginning of this here. Have you guys got any work? Okay. I think I would rather like to keep control of where the bus guys are going, so we're going to wipe out all this. With all you lot. Right. Right, I want to look at one thing. If we come up to here, I think I've got. We got no buses. What we got here? Right, these guys are delivering the cement, but they've got nothing to deliver at the moment. But I want to keep them there for the moment. Okay. Bricks, got prefabs. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to buy some buses here. What am I looking for? Looking for more speed versus capacity. This has got 20 passengers. The Zeiss 15. You've got 16 passengers. You're a lot more expensive. You're 70. You can carry 20 passengers. You can carry 16 for the same. A lot cheaper. Right, we're going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Now, the reason I'm putting the buses here, but until we've got an unemployed surplus here, which we don't seem to have. So what we're going to do is put these in here so they're ready to go once we get some unemployed people. At the moment, these guys are building locally. So, and I think this is something you've got to be aware of, that this says that there's no unemployment. The reason for that is because I'm building these locally. The workers find the job because it's allocated and they walk there. So they're not being delivered by bus. These are just being, you can see some eager worker here waiting for this to be delivered. What's up with the gravel here? This guy, a bit of a problem. I think this guy's just been auto-identified from this, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, suspend the. We want to build this one and this one, because if we build this one, that then opens up the possibility of another kindergarten over here in the private school, and also the theatre here. See, this is actually causing a problem. This guy here is causing a problem because he's convincing people that they're being allocated. Right, what we're going to have to do is we have to be a bit kind of cancel this, put off the auto search. Yeah, this is one of the problems when you've got a building like this where you're close to a residential area. What will happen is that the workers will go there and stand there, and you're wasting workers. So what we're going to need to do is assign to there, and then if I come here and assign to. Of course, we have to redo these pipes. Two pipes here. We're gonna have to start thinking about the heating as well. Okay. Right, we've now got this built. This is on the coal end. So we've now got that is built. It's now taking coal, and what I want to do now is I've got some these guys sat around doing nothing, and I know some of you guys will say, yeah, you're a bit crazy doing this. This is 1,950 tons. What we're going to do is put you there, get you to unload coal, and I'm going to reduce this right down to 10%. Actually, I'm going to go even lower than that. I'm going to go to 5%. Oh, it won't go to 5%. Let's go leave it at 10%. The idea is going to be is that what we're going to be doing is slowly filling this coal store up, which will then give us an option while we're building out this, because we may not have any workers. If we can fill this up to 1,950 tons, what that will mean is that what we'll have possibility here of running the heating plant, because eventually as this grows, these heating plants aren't going to be, this heating plant here isn't going to be enough. So what we most likely will do is get this into here. But of course, one thing we're going to need here is probably some form of power, because I don't think where's the heating plant here? Yeah, the power plant here doesn't reach out to this area. So what we may have to do is put a wind turbine in here as a temporary power supply, but I'm not going to build it now because we don't know how this is going to work. But the idea is by having a reserve of coal in here, what we can do then is possibly even get the power plant on while we're building this out. But also it will act as an intervention store when we get this going while we're building up the workforce. And I've realized that, and I've just been I've just had someone come in and point out their watch to say that I'm meant to be going out in them a little while. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.